What happens to your gun rights after you've been convicted of a crime? This is going to depend on a couple of things, whether it was a felony or misdemeanor, and also where you live. Our firm practices in both Texas and Colorado. There's also some federal statutes that come into play, but in general, the answer is going to be if you're convicted of a felony, your rights to possess a firearm or ammunition are going to be greatly impaired. Now, misdemeanors can also impact your gun ownership rights, your gun possession rights, but that generally comes into play when we're talking about domestic violence crimes. In Colorado, the statute that covers this is 18-12-108 of the Colorado Revised Statutes. In Texas, it's Texas Penal Code section 46.04, and then we also have the Gun Control Act of 1968 that's going to come into play. So keep this in mind. This is the really important stuff, okay? If you're convicted of a felony, there are some situations where you could potentially get some sort of gun ownership or possession rights back. You're definitely going to want to talk to an attorney about this one. For instance, some type of expunction or something where the verdict or judgment is actually set aside from the criminal case itself. There's also some time period limitations that you may be able to qualify to have a gun in your house for self-protection, but virtually in no case is this going to apply to anything that happens outside of your home. Keep this in mind also. We get this question all the time. What if I have a family member that was convicted of a felony? What does that do to my rights if I cohabitate with them, if I live in the same house? You're going to want to talk to an attorney about this too if you have any specific questions, because it comes down to a question of possession. Now, this is just intended as a very brief overview. We're going to put some cites to statutes in the description below. But remember, if you need legal advice, talk to an attorney, because this is not legal advice. I'm just here to give you some information. Feel free to call our law firm. And lastly, one of the more important things here, if you do own a weapon, just make sure to be a responsible firearm owner. Make sure that you know how to maintain the weapon, that you store the weapon properly, because that's something that's becoming a more and more pervasive issue throughout society. Again, if you need anything when it comes to criminal defense or litigation, feel free to contact us. Our contact information is below. Thanks for watching the video.